And welcome back to another episode of the Grip and Rip It Sports Podcast presented by Rolling Sevens. Today we have Chris Stockel. He's here again.
Yo.
My name is Danny Tops, and special guest today is Anthony Terrell.
Wonderful.
Hello, Anthony.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
Definitely. Hey, has Dan been practicing the welcome back his entire life?
I think so. I've only known him since 7th grade, but he was definitely doing it then.
The welcome back? I mean, I don't know. I feel like it just gets better and better every week.
You're like in total perfection zone with that right now.
Pretty much. I could do it any type of way you want me to do it. I'm going to get it done. But
you sound a little raspy. You sick?
I don't know, man. I feel like I had a sinus infection the other day. It was actually after you guys came over Saturday. The next morning I woke up feeling a little shitty. Yesterday was real fucked up, and then
getting my man sick over here.
Yeah, but probably was this motherfucker. But yeah, I don't know. It was yesterday. I was feeling a little crappy. Today I'm pretty much fine, other than a little cough. But
Dan usually feels a little down when he gets his ass whipped in board games.
You need to calm your ticks.
Oh no, what happened?
Let's not go. This is a sports podcast. We don't need to go into that.
As far as I'm concerned, I'll play board games competitively. So, what game were you guys playing?
It was a movie trivia.
It's called Blockbuster.
And you got spanked?
Spanked is not the word that I would use by any means. We were winning.
What word would you? What word would you use?
He lost, but
lost. Listen, I'll tell you exactly how this shit went down. Right, it was a good game all the way through. It's a group game, right? So he was playing with his girl Kelsey. I was playing with Michelle, and they tend to. I don't want to speak for Kelsey, but I can speak for Michelle. She's not a cinephile such as myself, but she does well. She does the best she can.
That's important,
right?
For sure.
And we needed one card. So the way you win the game is you got to win genre cards, and I needed one more card. I needed an all-time classic, which is tough because, like I said, Michelle doesn't know fucking movies. So there was a couple that I just couldn't get because they were hard. Like it was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And there's other rules I'm not getting into. But then we had Some Like It Hot, and they needed the exact same card after a couple rounds to win. Guess what fucking card they got? The Godfather. And they didn't. And it wasn't even
a hard one to get.
It wasn't even that hard because one of the things you have to do is quote it. And
so I was going to say, do you have to act it out?
There's act it out, quote it, and then use one word to describe it.
So you can do all of those, or you
have
to pick
to choose.
one of those.
You pretty much get three cards, and you have
cards.
to choose which one you're going to act, which one you're going to use one word for, and which one you're going to quote. So
and
it's
you
kind
get
of
to
strategic
choose
in
which
that sense.
And
that sounds fun.
And Kelsey used the Godfather card in the quote it and said, "You're this to Corinne." And that's Kelsey's niece, and he's the godfather of her niece. So it was like, well, fuck me, Some Like It Hot. I'm over here at the stove, like.
He literally was at the stove. He ran over to the stove.
That's awesome.
But yes, that was the story of how Dan lost at the Blockbuster.
I hadn't played like a board game in forever, and when we went over to your house the other night, I actually had a good time when we played that game.
It was a good game. I enjoyed it.
It was shenanigans for sure.
Those are some of the great questions, though. Like, they did a great job of putting shit down on cards that nobody's going to know the answer to.
I know that was crazy. But who won that game?
Humble brag.
Oh shit!
I
told you not to get into the board games.
I told you.
Playing board games is like a lost pastime.
It really is. It brings people together.
Or like playing cards at the table, like that's shit that our parents did that we don't. I feel like you guys do apparently, but like
I try to always have a deck of cards with me no matter where I go. This happens. So he'll get on the board and write stuff, and then we all look that way and see what he says.
There's a new
Uno.
Yeah. There's a new Uno card.
What's it do?
You get to swap hands.
Oh.
Now they're just changing good old fun games.
But we still got one game we got to try. It's the parody version of the Game of Life, where you start with $500,000 in crippling debt, and you have to get out of debt to win the game.
Wait.
Seems realistic.
Am I playing that game right now?
Isn't that my real life? I don't know. But so Anthony, now that we got you here, obviously me and you have known each other a very long time. We can get into a little bit of history, but first, what are some of your homers?
Yes, so probably going to make a lot of people upset, but my dad is originally from Massachusetts, outside of the Boston area. So he raised me ever since I was born on all Boston teams. Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Boston College.
BC,
BC
big
Eagles.
guy. You're a Matt Ryan fan.
He's not playing the Pats.
What everybody thinks of when they say Boston College, everybody thinks of Matt Ryan.
He's
Actually,
Like
I'm
right
not-
after-
I still think of Doug Flutie.
You know who else went there? Mark Herzlich.
Yes.
Herzlich? That's how you say his
I
last name?
think so.
Yeah. So
I think Doug Flutie.
he's a bone marrow cancer survivor.
Doug Flutie has that
He's got the
iconic
epic
play.
throw.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You like Boston teams, so that makes you practically irrelevant. So we can move on to history.
So,
Yes.
so does your dad Pakas Khan Havidyad?
No, but my grandfather does. Yeah, he has this like freaking 1980 Riata that he drives, and he calls it the rare car. And he says only like
got the
100.
rare car?
The rare car.
The rare car.
He says only like 100 of them were mates. And he
It's
fucking
a
loves that
super
thing,
rare
so
car. It's wicked rare.
It's the rare car. Yeah. and now I call it the rare car. It's great.
you brought up get bent, but that's another thing.
Whoa,
people
whoa,
say.
whoa, 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 whoa! There was context.
I'm saying you brought up about how nobody says get bent anymore. That's another one that I miss. Wicked.
Wicked, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
go to Boston.
Yeah, my
Those-
friend
they,
is wicked
they still,
smart.
they still say that
still
shit.
say that.
I've been asking you that.
I talked to my cousins, bro. He says wicked every 2 words, dude.
I gotta go to Boston then. I'm
No,
just gonna
you
go
don't.
to Boston and just be like, yeah, dude, that's totally fucking wicked.
Just skip over it. It's fine.
Don't go to Boston.
I've never been, but I won't.
I would like to go to Fenway. I don't need to
It's
go.
great.
Maybe Fenway's.
Don't need to go to Gillette, but I'd like to go to Fenway.
Fenway's great, man.
What's it like growing up and just watching a bunch of championships all the time?
I know my dad gives me shit all the time because he obviously went through the dark ages of Boston sports, and he reminds me every time I see him.
I'm just curious.
Not-
What is considered
not
the
the
dark
Celt- not
ages?
the
Because the Celtics
Celtics.
won plenty in the 80s, too.
Okay, the dark ages of the Red Sox and the Patriots. The Patriots were competitive in the 80s and 90s, but he always tells me that I'm super blessed to be born into a
Dynasties?
multiple dynasties.
But
Cool.
Oh, I saw him do this. It's like, what kind of show we turning this into
I'm
here?
not trying to fucking gargle my head.
there's some weird gargling things going on. I
Indeed,
don't know.
off camera.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not an expert with speaking into the mic, but I'm getting better.
You'll get it eventually.
Definitely.
Is that better? But yeah, my dad always tells me that I should be super grateful for being born into the dynasties, but I've totally readied myself for another dark ages. After Brady and Belichick are gone, I'm totally ready to not see another title for the rest of my life.
It's
I
coming.
mean,
you just
you don't
like
need to see another title for
just
that. You've
yeah,
got
just
enough.
put it in past. Just accept it at this point. Like it's okay. You've gotten like all of them.
Yeah, I'm very grateful, and I've seen a championship from all 4 major sports
Yeah.
since I've been alive. So Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox, Patriots, they've all won one.
So I'm curious. While we're right here, we were just recently on, I think, the most recent episode talking about Brady versus Belichick and how they were basically. Is it you being a fan? Do you think that it's more Brady? Do you think it's Belichick? Do you think that they need each other? Do you think what's your take on that scenario? Just because it's kind of like we were just recently talking about it. I'm curious to know what you have to say.
Yeah, it's obviously a great question, but I think in football in general, there's so many people on the field, so many phases of the game and stuff. I think coaching is obviously super, super important. So if I had to give it to one, I would probably say Belichick because he's authored these great defenses over the years. Obviously the culture in football is huge because you have 53 men on the roster, so you have to have a winning culture. I think
Locker rooms just know how to win.
Exactly. Like Belichick, what they've done with subpar players over the years kind of, I think, shows that Belichick is the real mastermind behind this whole thing. But you can't, take away from what Brady's done in big time situations.
Yeah.
He
At the end of the day, Brady's the one that's on the field making the plays.
exactly. And Belichick said it just yesterday after the 300th win. He said, coaches are only as good as their players, and that's a classic Belichick thing to say. But whether you believe that or not, I don't know. But I think Belichick. I think it's probably closer to equal. But if I had to choose one, I would say
You'd build a
coaching.
team around Belichick before you built a team around Brady?
I think so.
I think you kind of have to.
Yeah, because
screwed
like I
up.
said, coaching just touches everything. The quarterback can only do so much.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if once Brady's gone, Belichick's gone. if like Belichick retires and Brady retires, like that'd be the perfect fucking walk.
If
into
I
the
was him,
sunset.
why try to prove it again? He doesn't need to
I
prove
know.
anything to anyone.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know how Belichick feels about the talking heads and talking about this exact topic and stuff.
He
But
doesn't.
I could see him wanting to try and win a ring without Brady. I don't know what goes on in his head, but that would surely prove something towards this
And
argument.
you got to figure that he theoretically should be able to coach longer than Brady can play, right?
Definitely, he's
Theoretically.
We think.
He actually just went back because he went on record a few years ago saying he could not see himself coaching into his 70s. But he just said recently in the past few days that he didn't know what 70 was going to feel like when he said that. So he said that's kind of off the table now.
How old is he?
I think I want to say 66.
So the thing is, he doesn't even have to go to a new team. He needs Brady to retire. If Brady's not there, then we really get to see what happens. Is it
67.
the team and the
66.
culture that Belichick, inspires and keeps true in New England, or is it all a matter of the fact that he has the greatest quarterback of all time leading that team?
Yeah, and that's a great point too, because I talk about the culture with Belichick and stuff, but like you said, the players are the ones who are playing and on the field. Like Tom Brady's the guy that's completely
he's
dedicated his
executing.
life and his body to this sport, and other guys see that in the locker room. They're like, Brady's working harder than me. I need to work harder.
Yeah. Question. I'm pretty sure I probably know the answer to this one. I would feel it's probably the same for most Patriots fans. But out of the 6 Super Bowl rings that you guys have over the last 19 years, which one's your favorite?
Gosh, I would say that the Seattle one and the Atlanta Falcons one, those were the most probably exciting. The biggest comeback of all time, the game sealing interception. But there's been a lot beating the greatest show on turf. Obviously, I was very young.
That was crippling to me when I was watching that. I was a big Greatest Show on Turf fan at the time.
A lot of people were. I mean, it was crazy. It's almost like the Giants, the wild card Giants, beating the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Very
It was
similar
on par with
situation.
that as far as underdog stories in the Super Bowl go. So I completely,
Isn't it crazy that for no matter how great, and this sucks, but how great the Patriots have been in your lifetime, how great Tom's been, how great Belichick's been, that the only 2 smudges are Eli Manning on the rap sheet? Isn't that like crazy? It's like it couldn't have been to a more mediocre.
yeah, but
Mediocre situation.
yeah, and
They're like the greatest,
yeah, I'm not going to take anything away from him. He made obviously some amazing throws and
That
amazing
throw to Mario
plays.
Manningham is
Yeah, that
one of the best
Manningham
throws ever.
one.
Drop that ball.
It's one of the best throws ever.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
And the
But
entire David Tyree play too was amazing. What the throw wasn't anything like, oh my god, but just
But
the
him
fact that
staying alive in the pocket was
him
amazing.
escaping
The escape-
3 sacks. And then
Richard
getting
Seymour
out.
has a hold of his neck and he gets out of there. But so all the credit to Eli Manning. But obviously, those D lines had a
Justin Tuck,
huge
Jason
say.
Pierre-Paul, OCU,
Michael
Magura,
Strahan for the
Strahan.
first one.
Those were nasty defenses that they
You
had
say
to play.
JPP?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some great D lines, and I think that that's what I mainly attribute to them beating the Patriots. Obviously, Manning showed up in.
It's me.
Fix your posture.
It's me.
Obviously, Manning showed up in crunch time, but they had some great D lines, and over the years, that's what's been proven to be the,
Beat the Pa-
recipe to
To
beat
beat
Brady.
the
Yeah,
Patriots, you got to get pressure with 4
exactly.
because Brady will pick you apart if he blitz.
Up the middle too, because
Some
he's very
A-gap blitzes.
yeah, he's very good at stepping up and stuff. So
Yeah. All right. Well,
What do we got today, Dan?
let's see. First off on the list was today was the trade deadline.
I kind of thought that more people were going to get moved.
I mean, it was very anticlimactic. It was like
Definitely.
things were heating up, and it was like, ooh, okay, this is going to get interesting. Who's going to go where? And then nothing happened.
yeah, it seemed like all these rumors came through.
Maybe a guy like Le'Veon Bell get traded. Maybe Brandon Cooks will get traded. And
Jamal Adams.
They were talking
got traded.
Jamal Adams.
It was like
Robbie
2012.
Anderson.
It was like remember when everybody was hoping to die because the world was supposed to end, and we were all just going to celebrate it, and then nothing happened.
There's a theory about that.
That we all did die, and we're living in the alternate universe.
One of a billion of them, but yes.
Don't give me. You got 2 Rick and Morty fans at the table. Let's not get into alternate timeline and universes right now. This is just that's a
That would be a
tangent.
whole nother show,
Yeah.
Oh man,
We could do a Rick and Morty fan club.
we don't even need to do that.
But see, I like.
That'd be excessive.
There's
sorry.
no way we all died because I don't remember fucking dying. That's what, no. I know what you're gonna say. That's exactly what a person who died but came back to life would say. But
No, I don't think that we actually died. I just think that there's just a shit. Like it's just a shift and just. I don't know how to explain it.
I like that.
I don't know how to explain it.
At least you weren't one of those guys who sold his house and spent all the money on
Bought
partying, and had nothing the next day when the world was still there.
Horrible.
But
I
yeah,
feel bad for that guy.
there's a couple of those guys, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing happened. The biggest trade of the day, Aqib Talib to the Dolphins.
It's underwhelming.
He's gonna pull Avante Davis next game, guaranteed. I'm pulling the card right now.
Did they play?
Retires at halftime.
Did the team that they play next week sign Michael Crabtree?
Or he's just going to be snatching a lot more chains,
Wait a second.
Bang, you got it.
Who do the Dolphins play next week?
Let's look.
Is it the Bills?
Hold on, it could be. Where are you?
I know the
Mary?
Bills are playing a shitty team. It's either the Redskins or the Dolphins.
No, the Dolphins play the Jets.
Oh, okay. They're playing a shitty team too. Oh well. He's still gonna
So
retire.
Andy Dalton got benched.
I heard that.
I'm wondering what took so long.
I'm indifferent about it.
How do you feel about the basically the owner for the Bengals coming out and saying that trading's not in our culture? We won't trade. We refuse to trade. That's not how we believe we can build a team. Meanwhile, AJ Green's in the final year of his deal, and he's going to walk for nothing.
I will counter that with, when was the last time the Bengals won a Super Bowl?
I mean, they made. Hold up. Never.
Exactly. So maybe you should fucking think about changing your culture.
It's just like supreme optimism, I think.
Yeah,
Like they're just so old and optimistic about everything. Like, I think that's what it is.
Obviously, people know there's an exception to every rule. I think it's kind of stupid of him to come out and say, we don't do this. We would never do this under any circumstance. I think you have to be
I don't
a bit
think
open-minded.
I don't think they've made a trade since 72 or so. I think that's what I
Really? Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Like, it's just stupidity, man. You got to build your team up. You're missing a lot of pieces right now. There are a lot of problems on that team.
Another thing that I read was that if you give the Bengals a call, like they won't even.
Yeah,
they don't even entertain
They
it.
won't
It's
even
like,
listen
it's like
to the offer.
They're like it's like speaking another language. Yeah, which is insane because like if you're the Bengals, you're 0-7. You're basically going to get to pick your quarterback next year, and you know AJ Green's walking. Best case scenario, you get a third round compensation pick with him walking. Like I'm pretty sure that the Patriots would have given up that second.
Probably.
Or probably
For
a
AJ
first
Green?
for AJ Green. You know,
I mean,
like
they traded a second for Sanu. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I feel like people forget how good AJ Green was just a couple
no,
years ago.
I don't think people forget. I think people are already aware and aware of the just the nicks that he gets. You know,
Yes, that's true. He has been, but that's what I'm saying. A couple years ago, AJ Green that plays 16 games, is a dominant top 5 wide receiver.
if this Bengals team was 4-3 or 3-4, he might have been. He might have been like geared up and playing already, maybe. Because I know he's like.
I don't think he wants. Yeah, I don't think he wants to play. Why would you want to play in
He's
Cincinnati?
already getting paid. There's no incentive for him to at all.
yeah, I
Makes no
agree.
sense. But so the big news that happened was Jamal Adams. So the rumors that were swirling around were actually Jamal Adams to the Cowboys.
I heard that.
Replace Jeff Heath.
But obviously that didn't happen because nothing happened for the trade deadline today. But
Oh, Michael Bennett's going to stand.
what do you mean he's going to stand?
He's not going to knee.
He's still been kneeling.
He's still been kneeling?
That I don't know, but I know that part of the agreement of him going to Dallas was that he.
Oh yeah, because Jerry Jones was super.
Because Jerry don't
hard
play
notes
that,
about that.
play that shit, man. Jerry's Jerry.
Yeah. And Jerry's the
Sorry.
reason they haven't won a Super Bowl in the last 19 years. That's not even a dig at the Cowboys. I just think Jerry Jones is a bad owner. I think he controls way too much of the team. But
I mean, well,
you had one of the greatest coaches of all time, and then because of his rift with Jerry Jones,
you're talking about
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, a couple of those owners that are
We could do a whole fucking episode on this. I don't want to go down this fucking.
No, we don't have to, but
right. Please, God, because I could defend all of this, and I don't want to. I have no desire.
A couple
you would
owners,
defend Jerry Jones?
Anyways,
a couple owners have gotten they're too involved or whatever, but some have had success. But
he stepped back
It's
a
hit
lot,
and
and
miss.
Steven's the one running the show for the most part now. Anyways, moving on. Moving
Yeah,
on.
so, but
as
back to
as
Jamal
as
Adams.
Diggler would say.
Moving on.
Back to Jamal
You
Adams.
fucking unprofessional fuck.
I get that on the other show. I don't need that here.
Shout out Diggler. He's been fucking. Can we just say real quick that his Instagram game is fucking shot up tenfold?
Do you follow Diggler on Instagram?
I do not.
You need
yeah,
to follow
you need to.
Diggler.
His stories are A1.
I don't know what happened. If he's just got more time on his hands, like did he get kicked out of school? What's going on? But he's on Instagram like 20 hours of the day.
Who is Diggler?
He's one of our personas here at Rolling Sevens that does a podcast with Chris as the co-host where he just batters Chris for 60 minutes while drinking a shit ton of alcohol and talking about topics.
He gets absolutely plastered. Has a like.
Oh, that's the dude with the mustache?
A drinker. Yeah. Oh, dude, we went to a Halloween party this past weekend, and he was Gardner Minshew for Halloween.
He's
awesome.
Gardner Minshew every day.
Pretty much.
He's trying to live that life. Is what he's doing.
But he posts memes, some like that.
They crack me up, dude. But but did you hear what happened with Jamal Adams?
No, what happened with Jamal Adams? It's just stupid stuff.
That is literally. So apparently they've been talking about the fact that they were going to trade Jamal Adams for a couple weeks now. Apparently he went in and had a meeting with I want to say it was the coach and the GM. I think it was Gates and the GM that went in, but apparently they went into the meeting. Everybody was all happy-go-lucky. They were talking about, I want to be in New York. I want to stay here. I don't want to be traded. And they were, everybody was on the same page. And then he left the meeting and the GM started shopping him.
Wow.
So that was what was tweeted out by Jamal Adams himself. Don't know how much truth there is to it.
Yeah, and he said, quote, they went behind his back.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some problems in
New
York.
All that does is sets up the horrible scenario of that team, that front office, everything. The way
Did they just get in trouble for the whole? How do you say his last name? Asali?
Yeah, Soleil, yeah, but just with everything that happened with the draft and hiring Adam Gase last second and how all of that went down, this organization is total dysfunction.
They are not doing a good job at all.
Yeah, there was so many. It sounded like they were having a fire sale today. There were so many rumors.
They were trying to get rid of
It was
Le'Veon Bell,
Robbie
too.
Anderson, Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Adams. Literally, they're.
It's like if you're trying
three of their
to, if
best
you're a
players.
new face and you're trying to build up rapport, why are you lying to guys? And blatant lying, like not just like somebody called them and inquired and he answered.
Yeah.
Like he
you're
turned
the
around,
one making
you're
the
staying,
calls.
you're staying, and then turns right around and
Yeah.
goes to shop them. That's just
He's Kevin Costner in
That's just
Draft Day.
inexcusable, bro. Like if you know that's what you're doing, be 100 with your guys, man. That's what's going. He'll respect you. Like all of them will respect you so much more if you were just like, guess what, dude? Today's a deadline. We might be moving you.
Yeah.
If not, it's a business. If we did, it's a bit like.
It's a double-edged sword.
Why is
too.
anybody like this?
Yeah.
Shouldn't even be an issue, but they were wanting to like be nice and save face, and then look at what they did. Now
Like,
they look like dumbasses.
Not only are your own players going to lose respect for you because of it, who the fuck's going to want to go play for the Jets?
No one, bro.
Definitely.
No one.
Like, you're going to call up a big-time free agent,
No.
and they're going to even give you the time of day? I wouldn't.
The only reason Le'Veon did is because the Jets were the only ones paying.
And the rumors were pretty credible that he was being shopped. Huh? It's not like just a ghost
I
report
wanna
came
say
out.
it was like Schefter and all the
Yeah, all the
big-time
big
guys that
guys.
report stuff, all saying that Jamal Adams and Le'Veon Bell.
and then he takes to Twitter, so obviously he knew enough about it
From
that
what
he
I
was
was reading,
convinced.
the deadline was at 1 p.m. East, or 1 p.m. Pacific today.
Right.
At 12:30, I was reading stuff on CBS. I was talking like almost the Jamal Adams to the Dallas Cowboys was almost a done deal. Like it was that close, apparently.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
have any insight as to why it didn't get done. They probably wanted too much, and also here's the thing. Look, Jamal Adams gets told we're not shopping you. They turn around, they shop him. Everybody freaks out. Jamal Adams is pissed. His price goes down. So
Yeah, if the Cowboys, especially if the Cowboys,
yeah,
know-
and
at
you
that
have stuff
point,
like
the
that,
Cowboys
too.
probably were like, oh, we'll give you a third, and then everything happened. They called back. Guess what? Now it's a fifth. That's probably what happened.
That's why sometimes
Because it does change like that. The value
Yes.
will change like that. And this day and age is so different.
and it
so
confuses
different.
me sometimes. I wish we could have a GM on one day just so we could talk to him. About like what goes through your head, like the Redskins, for instance. You have Trent.
Dude, I don't
Williams.
want to talk to the GM of the Redskins.
Well, no shit, no one does. But But you have Trent Williams, who's held out the entire season thus far. He's on the last year of his contract. You know he's walking.
And
Same thing
isn't he
with
30,
AJ.
isn't he 35 years old or something like that?
He's
too?
old, but he's like a 6-time I know he's been to a couple Pro Bowls. He's a great
He's up
left
there.
tackle.
He's up there with Tyron Smith as a top tackle.
And I guarantee he's still got a couple years in the tank. He goes with AJ Green too.
He has a
Why
pretty
are
big
you-
cap hit, for some teams.
That's true, but you could always work it into the deal where
Yeah.
you're going to pay off some of that salary.
Yeah, definitely.
To get something back, why don't you want it's I don't know. I just don't get why people don't take the Belichick method. Belichick has had constant success because he always will sell a player
In the
a
last
year
year of their
before
deal.
they need to be sold, or in the last year of a deal to
or
get
they just
something
don't
back.
pay the guy.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
they let him walk.
And then they
and
also
then he comes back like Jamie Collins. And
that's
he's
who I
better
was,
than he was
that's
before.
who I was referencing. And they routinely get the most out of every player, no matter what it is. If it's
Patrick Chung did
Shaq
the same
Mason, Patrick Chung, Danny Amendola, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, it does not. Deion Branch. Literally, we could do this for
Yeah.
fucking ever. It doesn't matter. They just always get the best out of their guys.
Definitely.
It's in the
But yeah,
water.
I can't wrap my hand around why more people didn't trade. And if we're another one of the big ones was OJ Howard. On the Bucks.
The Bucks didn't go
they're
anywhere.
wasting him. He's caught 13.
The best catch he's ever made was at a baseball game.
But he's in Bruce Arians' system now, which is well renowned for
not
being a system that
utilizing a
does
receiving
not
tight end.
utilize a tight end.
Well, then play him at just split him outside. Then it's bro, the dude's
Yeah, I know.
6'5". Just throw the ball
Use-
somewhere. I know I'm preaching to the choir,
Yeah.
but just throw the ball near
Yeah.
him. Just throw it near him. Guess what? He's going to catch
It's
it on the
inexcusable.
5'11" corner, bro.
It's inexcusable. They're not
Why
using
are
him
you
in the
not
passing
using
game.
that guy? Even if use him in the fucking red zone, split him out wide,
Yeah.
get everybody else to the opposite side of the field, get him in a one-on-one matchup, and throw it up to the 6'5" guy.
Cameron Braid's better, bro.
Then get rid of
That's
Howard
a-
if you have your guy.
Exactly.
That's a joke.
If that's
That
your
was
guy,
that was a joke.
that's a joke.
Some people would believe that joke, Chris.
That's why I said it.
I don't know, man. The NFL confuses me a lot of the times.
Dude, it's so up and down.
And then you got the shit bowl that was the Monday Night Football game. Jesus
Oh
Christ.
yeah, I was at the bar watching that one, and Kelsey's telling me like, "Oh, the Dolphins are going to win one." And I'm like, "No, they're not."
They're plus 575.
Is that what the money line was?
Yeah, it
What
seemed-
was it? Does anybody know what the in-game money line was when the Steelers were down 14-0 though?
At
That'd be
halftime,
interesting.
the Dolphins were
Yeah.
plus 8.
Did they didn't cover that, did they?
No,
'Cause they
But
lost
They covered the full. They covered the
27-17.
full game. 27-14.
Is that what it was? Oh, they didn't score at all in the second half? Shit.
No, they got the pep talk at the half. They said, "What the hell you doing, boys?"
We lose tank for Tua.
Let's
They're
talk
gonna
about-
blow it anyways. They're gonna get the first number. They're
It's
gonna
not
get
even
the number-
tank for Tua anymore,
yeah.
huh?
I was gonna say, let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
What do we think? The tank for Tua thing. You got the Dolphins. You have Cincinnati's right there. They just went to a rookie. No.
I say tank for
It's-
Tua and just as.
Oh, it's a great alliteration.
We're
Yeah, it
just
is a great
we're just
alliteration.
tanking. Like
Yeah, we're
when it was
tanking.
winless for Winston, tank for Tua. But you
But tank
still
for Tua sounds nice.
you still
does.
get to pick. Pick your. You get to have the pick of the litter. And I
I'm
don't
just saying,
think.
do any of us think that Tua's gonna? I mean, I know the guys in this room. I don't know about your opinion, but we all loved Tua for the last couple of years because we knew about Tua when he was a redshirt freshman, and we watched him throw 4 touchdown dimes to versus Vanderbilt in the summer game, or the spring game. Then you watch him come in and take over for Jalen Hurts in the Georgia game, in the championship, and he wins that game. Do we really think though that Tua's going to translate to the NFL? Has anybody started to have second thoughts? I feel like you asked that question a year and a half ago. We all say yes.
Real quick, I think that this is just a case of just over evaluation, over scrutiny. Yes, I think he's a top tier quarterback.
You still think so?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's top tier, but like you said, I don't think he has maybe as much allure as he did, like you said, a year and a half ago when he was, coming in at halftime and winning a national championship game. Like, but yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people think that the tank for Tua thing is the number one pick was probably going to go to another player, but obviously Tua is still a top prospect, just maybe not the runaway number one guy that can change a franchise instantly, like some people thought.
And that's the thing that sticks out for me more than anything. I'm not questioning Tua's ability to be a quarterback in the NFL. I'm more questioning how good the guys around, how good the other quarterbacks in this class are as well, because there's guys that stick out to me. Right off rip, Jalen Hurts has really stood out to me immensely. Now, there's also other guys, dude. When you look at Jacob Eason, Burrow, as well as Herbert, like I I don't think any of them have separated themselves from the group. Is more of what I'm getting at. Do you have a front runner?
If I was a GM,
Like they're all close, dude. They're
Yeah.
all like first round tiered.
I'll tell you what.
quarterbacks.
I'm going to tell you what right now.
It's hard.
There's a big
There's
game.
not
There's a
one.
big game coming up, and this is the game that I'd be looking at because for me, with this draft coming up, if I was a GM that needed a quarterback, I think I got to say I think I agree with most of your point there that it's tough. You got Tua, Herbert, Eason, and Burrows, and Jalen Hurts.
We'll throw Jalen Hurts in there right
Okay,
now.
so let's just say you got 5 guys that could easily be first-round draft picks, right? Have any of them separated themselves? I don't know, but there's the one guy that I've thought for the entire portion of the season who's just gotten better and better and who's looked really good has been Burrows. And I think that Alabama LSU game coming up is going to be a very telling game.
We've talked about it before, man.
Definitely.
It's the first time I've ever put on a LSU game and like seen them throw the football.
Yeah.
Ever.
And it's amazing.
And like he's the guy to me that separated themselves a little bit, but and you know, we're not even mentioning Trevor Lawrence because he's not
coming out
not
yet.
even in this class.
Yeah, I was thinking about Lawrence.
But that's another example, like
whole time as well.
another example that I think that he's probably just a little bit overanalyzed, and he's a gamer too, dude. There's so much more to it than just having the quarterback, bro. You
Yeah.
can,
Gotta have the right system,
you can
too.
have the best quarterback if your coaching is all fucked up or you don't have any protection. Y'all can't get off the field on third down.
yeah, we've seen it time and time again.
What
of
is sticky on my leg?
a stud quarterback coming in and to a trash team, trash system, trash O-line, you know, and they're just not able to do anything. You know, it's happened a
Numerous
lot.
times.
We're looking at you, NFL organizations. You guys need to be better. Stop setting these quarterbacks up for failure. Build your team first.
Yeah, everybody thinks, you know, drafting a quarterback number 1 is gonna change everything, but
It changes everything.
It does.
It totally
Change
changes
your entire
everything.
organization to where you
One
give up
way-
pretty much 4 years of your life.
Dude, yeah. But teams just have to be better. They've got to be better. Fuck. Just take Chase Young. just be
Can
smart.
we just say that though? Chase Young looks like a fucking monster.
Yeah, man.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
He's like the best looking guy since Keith Fletcher walked in the building. What's up, sexy?
Keith, how's it going, brother?
How you doing, bro?
But my God, talk about a fucking a game to put yourself on display. Like Chase, people that watch NCAA football, you know, they've known about Chase Young, but the game that he had versus Wisconsin. Now, I mean, maybe it takes away a little bit because they've that lost to Illinois the week before, but Ohio State looks like the best team in college football this year. They look unstoppable. I don't know. You guys
they
could
definitely
argue
look
that
very
with
good.
me, but
obviously there's a lot of good teams, but I agree they look very good.
they've covered the spread every week.
I almost don't even really care until we get to the playoff. It's like it's anticlimactic.
Can we just make it a 16-team playoff?
yeah, I was gonna say- I
God,
was
dude,
gonna
let's
say
make
at
it
least
64,
8, man.
bro.
Like,
Who
come on.
cares? I don't.
Yes.
Like
64.
obviously that's ridiculous. Will never happen. And I've always said it should be 8. Period. But 16, dude.
16 would be amazing.
They
Yeah.
need to learn from basketball. March Madness is literally like the best window.
I know.
In-
Could you
in-
imagine a
in
March
all
Madness style
sports.
tournament for
football?
Oh yeah, I can
Oh, my
imagine it. I hope it happens. At least 16. Like 16, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to get any bigger than that. Like
No,
that's
16
But,
perfect.
four is just kind of ridiculous. There's so many good teams, you know, kind of
Yeah.
being
well, and there's
being
such a
held out.
layoff between these games. You could still have a 16 team playoff and have all the other bowl games and
Yeah.
everything, and like still get these games in and get the bracket closed out. There's no reason that they couldn't do it. I don't want to hear any excuses from the NCAA. They're running out of them.
Yeah, well,
They're
at least the
gonna-
NCAA finally did something right for once.
Segue.
Hey, they got the playoffs in. That was the first step, huh?
Yeah, no, they need to expand upon that, but they finally voted to allow players to make money off of their likeness. Fucking finally.
Yeah, there's too many players that are, you know, household names, superstars, and they're, you know, in debt to their college and not making any money, you know.
Like, does this mean that Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back?
No,
Does USC get their titles back?
no.
That's bullshit. It's bullshit, in my opinion.
There was
They
like-
should everything that's been taken from any team that got the death penalty for
No,
money, players taking money,
no,
should be
no,
reinstated.
dude. He didn't get paid for his likeness, bro. He got paid to be there. Two different things.
No, he just,
Benefits, cars, cash.
Because he wasn't getting money for his
because he wasn't
likeness.
getting money.
By a pro agent.
buy a booster, buy a pro agent.
I don't want to argue
No, Dan.
semantics.
No, we're not arguing. These are not
USC.
semantic. This is not a semantical argument.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
That's
not.
what you just argued with me.
No, it's not.
Okay, so how much money did USC and the NCAA make off of Reggie Bush? A shit ton.
A lot of money.
All of it.
A fuck ton of money. And
right.
how much money did Reggie Bush make from having
Well,
a
that
fucking
wasn't
pro
the
agent?
law, bruh.
That's what I'm saying. Now the law is Reggie Bush, if he went to school, if this was 2005 and this happened, he didn't need a pro agent.
Bro,
he could
I'm
have made
sorry.
all that money.
I'm sorry, bro. We gotta stop paying reparations.
I'm not going that far. But
No,
I think it should be
no,
reinstated.
no.
Give him his Heisman back at
Nah.
least. Give
That
him a
was not
Heisman.
legal, bro, at the time, dude. Nah.
Sometimes we can right our past wrongs, but mostly not. If you went to prison in the 80s because DNA shit.
Bro, it would
I guess
have
they're
been.
letting
It
you
would
out
have been
now,
one
but you're
thing
not
if it
getting
was.
your life back.
If it would have been one thing.
Yeah,
if
but
it-
they pay him.
If the
Yeah,
Heisman
they're
was for something,
trying to make it right, I
Heisman
guess.
was for something small, but it wasn't, man. It was for like the big no. It was like
His Heisman trophy had nothing to do with him getting paid to play at USC. He was a baller. He was amazing. He was fun to watch. This Heisman, and those are two separate things, and they should not be have like a
argued.
mutual.
You
agreement.
sound like me.
I think it's a little ridiculous. They stripped him of the award over.
You want to say that they don't get their
paid
championships
to
back?
play.
He but he should have the Heisman back at the very least. He should have.
Not
the
like he
Heisman
was
back.
doping or anything.
Yeah.
He was
PEDs,
receiving
exactly.
money so he could.
If he was
make
shooting up and they caught him with that,
I got a
I'm all on
question.
board.
Aside from Dexter Lawrence, what other college players have been in trouble for PEDs?
Did that guy from Baylor ever get in trouble?
Sean Oakman?
Yeah, Oakman.
How did I just know? But it wasn't PED related. It was
No.
something else, and then he was
Was it
playing
assault
the
and battery?
CFL or something. Now I want to look.
Fucking
plenty of college players.
carry
have
on really quick.
Domestic
the
violence issues.
the T800. Jesus, that man was fucking ginormous.
Oh yeah.
Oh, guess what? He's on the Los Angeles Wildcats in the XFL.
Is he really?
My goodness.
We're gonna have an XFL.
That's
section
an absolute
on that?
unit right there.
He really was, though. It's a damn shame that man couldn't make anything of his career because to have that size and to not make it in the NFL, there's a problem.
Got to have more than size sometimes.
But so you said Dexter Lawrence. Who was the other one?
I
Or
was
is there
asking
any
if you
others?
knew of anybody else. Because I'm sure it's going on.
There's got to
Yeah.
be some.
I know for a fact. I mean, without knowing or having a source, I know for a fact it's going on. These guys are huge.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I would figure that there's some. I mean, I'm just saying.
Obviously, there's guys in
I-
every sport, abusing.
I played in
PEDs.
college. I was offered steroids, and I played at a small college. So
Yeah,
I can
you
only
weren't playing at a
imagine.
D1, yeah.
I can only imagine what they were offering guys at Division Ones.
All I have to say about the Sean Oakman story is it is not a short one.
Yeah, well then, no need to get into it because his career is.
Carrying on.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how long the XFL lasts. Maybe it'll be better than the AF. What was it? AAF? Is that what they're called? American Alliance Football or something like that. Didn't even finish the season.
Bro, I had tickets to the championship game. Didn't go. I did.
So, what, did you get your money back then?
No.
Or did they keep everybody's
All right,
money
I
because they
didn't
went under?
pay for them. They were via Tan Man's parents, I believe, because
Gotcha.
they had like season ticket holders to Sam Boyd or some shit.
Gotcha.
I literally do not know anything about that. The
He hate-
XFL. Wasn't he hate me?
He hate me, bro.
Literally
He hate
all
me,
I know
baby.
is he hate me.
The XFL, for as bad as it was, brought a lot of things to the NFL that we still use today. The Sky Cam.
Did it bring the Skycam?
Yeah,
That's they
that was
introduced it in the
XFL.
XFL. That's interesting. Good to
There's a
know.
lot of things that XFL did.
That's
and
fun.
hopefully McMahon, I mean, I'm not opposed to having a football league that's being played after the NFL season ends.
No.
I mean, the way he's been putting it out there is that it's going to be this league that is it's a game's only supposed to be 2 hours long. You know, it's a whole bunch of stuff's going to change from NFL stuff, so I'm not opposed
And
to that.
quarterbacks are still going to bleed from the ears.
Yeah,
so
and I think
we're happy.
I think it would be something people would be interested in because a lot of the diehard football NFL fans I know they're watching the CFL Canadian Football League in the off season. So
We all
I
know
feel like
that's
there's
not
got to
good
be a
football.
better product to be put out than the CFL, and people would watch it in the off season.
I'm going to give it a shot. It starts in February, so I'll watch the first couple games, see if it's good football,
Definitely
see if it's
gonna
entertaining.
Definitely gonna look for Sean Oakman. He's not gonna be hard to miss.
The LA Wildcats, he's going
You
to
just be like, oh, LA's on. Well, there's Sean Oakman.
All right, so
Now we've got Keith Fletcher on the camera.
Keith Fletcher manning the camera.
Fletcher, what's up, bro?
Changed, cameraman. He hasn't broke into the case of beer back there, so that's
No,
good.
it's open. He broke it.
He's gonna drink. He's gonna drink that whole thing tonight.
All right, so
Don't believe him, just watch.
we've gotten through
I might have to
our
stick around for that.
NFL section. Moving on.
I'm having
NBA.
fun today. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just
This
a fun
is-
episode. It's light. The
It
air is light.
I
in
enjoy
here,
that.
you know?
I don't like being stressed out about these things, man.
I mean, you get a moron like me on the air, and you can just pretty much do whatever you want. You know?
Don't put yourself
self-deprecating
down like that. I'm sure that if Cena was here, he would have made a Keith joke right there. But you know, what are you
Maybe.
gonna do?
Keith's the butt of all the jokes.
So what is it? Two-time dart champion? Is that his
Two-time
moniker?
two-time Hoboken Rusty's Down Under bar arcade dart MVP.
No arcade shit, real shit.
Real shit. he said.
He only,
We throw them real darts,
he only
son.
plays on cork boards. Okay.
We throw real darts, son.
We don't
real
play
darts
with
on cork
electronic shit.
boards.
Cork board darts only.
JD comes back like they're roasting Keith right now. It was awesome.
But
I don't know where we are. You're
NBA,
carrying
yeah,
this
M-
episode
NBA.
just like my entire day today.
You've let see, bro. That's what we try to teach the kids, man. Because you've had a bad day doesn't mean you should let that carry over to the next thing.
No. But just accept when you know halfway through that it's a bad day. Like
That's the
sometimes
Ride with the bad day.
Yeah, sometimes just let it go. It's okay.
But before we start wrapping it up here, we got to hit a little bit of NBA. We're about a week
Definitely.
into the season now. Obviously, nothing's really taking shape, but you know, some of the storylines we thought were going to happen are happening, and some of the things that we might not have foreseen coming are starting to, you know, look pretty good. First things first, though.
Hawks look good.
Hawks did look good.
Yeah.
They did until tonight.
I just after we talked about that, it said they're calling it a sprain.
Is that really what they're calling it? That'd be the greatest fucking news in the world if that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we got here today, and first thing JD does when we get into the studio is tell us that Trae Young just was carted off the court with a knee injury or a leg injury. Sorry.
Yes.
So the Hawks, who have looked pretty damn good, who've got a really good young core, that would be a major blow if it's any type of, you know, structural damage.
Yeah, I know he's an amazing player. Some people were saying, you know, he looked like a early few game MVP candidate, you know,
He
and
was averaging like 30. He's averaging over 30 a game right now, I think.
You know, I always worried about how small he was, and he gets boards. He's scrappy.
He's a tiny little guy.
I've come around on Trae Young.
So have I. I thought he was going to be a bust, and his
Yeah.
second half of the year last year, he was impressive. And
he had looked good
So,
thus
yeah.
far.
The Hawks are looking good. The Mavs. Porzingis looks really good.
yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little salty. I just saw the score
They still got to gel a little bit more, but why?
because I had Mavs money line first half.
Oof. Did you see the score?
It's 61-60. Nuggets. Hurts.
Oof, that's
And I'm pretty
a
sure,
ball breaker.
and I'm pretty sure everything else covered. Or everything else is looking like it's going to cover right now.
But aside from
Painful.
you making
Will Barton hit a
bad
3 with
bags,
5 seconds left, dude.
Is
I-
that what did it? No.
Yeah.
I do love that young duo of Luka and Porzingis. I
a
think they're
great
gonna, I
duo.
think they're going to do
Dirty.
great
Oh,
things, man.
Luka's so good. He's averaging
Those
like
two guys
30,
good.
10, and 10.
And the Mavs can continue their legacy of, you know, having European players.
He said it so
Yeah.
so elegantly.
so eloquently.
Yeah.
Those guys from Europe.
But yeah, I'm actually. I mean, I'm not a Dallas fan, but I gotta say I have an affection a little bit for the Mavs. I like Luka and I like Porzingis.
Yeah, I like that duo as well.
It's nasty.
I
But
think Luka's amazing.
what about the Battle of LA?
I think that it's a very long season.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. You know, we can't really. The Clips don't even have their second in command there. So
Let me.
And it's going to take the Lakers team some time to gel.
Yeah, I'm
LeBron,
gonna,
he takes a little bit to get his
And
team
the Clippers
going.
are much more, they were already like a team. You know, like they had pieces. They're already, they just are.
Yeah, they had good pieces and they added two
They added
superstars.
Kawhi, he's able to just fit in seamlessly. It's just a little bit more difficult transition.
like I want to talk shit first, and then I want to give my real assessment, but I can't. Everything you guys have said is true. Like, yes, I want to come out and say, dude, the Clippers are going to beat the Lakers' ass all year because they looked a lot better than the Lakers did in the one game that they played thus far. The Clippers have looked really good, while the Lakers have been kind of up and down. But yeah.
Did he lose a bet or something?
No, he just threw it at me. But
I
mean,
think
like,
you
that's what
still.
I'm saying,
I
like,
think
I'm
you
not even-
still owe 25 push-ups from that Miami law, that first Miami cover game 1 NCAA football.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, no, I know I'm
you
right.
you do push-ups
We haven't even
on the air?
No,
He's supposed to, but he's
On the table?
We were
He's
doing
refused
we
so
were doing a pick a week, and then we just like stopped doing picks. Even though we were doing we lost. That's
We
what it
did,
was.
okay.
We finally had a
we
losing
went back
week.
to 50%. We're like, fuck these picks of the week.
But back to the NBA, another team that I think is looking real good is the Sixers. They have had some struggles with their process or whatever, but their defense they're just so massive, dude.
Joel Embiid is a monster of a man. I still think that the worst thing that's going to happen to the Sixers is they won't be able to get through the East. Because until Ben Simmons can have an outside game, I think that's going to hinder them in the playoffs.
Yeah, and everybody says that, but
Everyone's missing it on Ben Simmons. He needs to just go play down on the block and on the offense, like on offense.
It's just
but I mean, if those guys get going, they don't need to shoot. They're just going to dominate you inside.
Dude, here's the thing. Guess what? In the playoffs, it's much harder to get out in transition.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
becomes a half-court game.
Exactly.
And that's like their biggest pitfall. Is their ability to create offense in the half court, and now losing J.J. Redick, losing Jimmy Butler,
Yeah, they lost
losing
some shooters.
They don't got as much shooting.
losing Shamit. Like, bro, can we talk about him for like just 2 seconds?
yeah, go ahead.
Do you know who he is?
Didn't he just?
He's the guy. He's the guy that got traded for Tobias Harris. He's one of the guys that got traded in the Tobias Harris deal. He's starting at 2 guard with Paul George out, and he is stroking for the Clippers.
Yeah, he's looked good so
He's
far.
like hitting.
Was he like 4? He was like 4 for 5 through in the first
he's hitting
quarter yesterday.
like step throughs, fucking.
Yeah, I think he had 16
Everything,
points
dude.
in the first quarter yesterday in the game. The
It's
Lakers
great. It's-
the Clippers Hornets game.
They got a guy like that. It's
So I'm saying
it's
they-
perfect fit for them. But
Embiid's going to do his thing.
Yeah.
They're going to be good all year.
they'll get you there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't see them going far in the playoffs.
In the
just
playoffs.
because it's just it's sad to
But the
see.
East isn't, as competitive as the West this year.
Not as competitive as the West
who's
from
going to beat
top
them?
to bottom.
The Bucks.
Bucks, yeah.
I think the Bucks have a realistic chance. I think the Celtics have a realistic chance. I think the Pacers could do it. I think
I would have gone as far as it said that even Atlanta is kind of a matchup problem.
yeah.
Providing Trae Young.
Yeah, with Trey, definitely.
With
the
Trae,
Hawks are
obviously
in there,
that's but even Atlanta is going to give them fits, man.
definitely.
It's just they're just weird matchup.
But like
It
you
is.
said when you walked in, Dan, you said it's fun to watch
fun
the
to watch
NBA again
basketball
because there's
again because
so many
there's-
good teams, so much parity,
Exactly.
a lot of different storylines developing.
It's going to be fun because it's going to be which teams, develop, which teams kind of take a step back. Once the playoffs get here, I don't really think that there's going to be a matchup. The 1-8 seeds are probably, you won't see any upsets, but 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, you could see some upsets from some of the lower seeded teams, I think. I think the teams are fairly evenly matched in both divisions. I think the West is still a little bit better, but the East has made a comeback a little bit.
Basketball
Definitely.
sticks through is like generally the best team always wins.
Usually.
Like that's the one sport
Usually.
where the top team
'Cause you have
usually shows through.
less players, less variability. Obviously, you're in
More-
the playoffs. You're
deeper
doing the series. Yeah,
It's a probability thing. It's the better team generally always succeeds. In
But it's just
basketball.
like, I don't want to harp too much on the Sixers, but it's just like, what is Ben Simmons doing in the offseason? How has he not? What is this?
Well,
Is this
I
year
mean,
3?
some people can just never shoot, man.
We
what
saw-
about Shaq? You think he wasn't practicing free throws in the offseason? His heyday?
No,
I
I don't.
mean-
I don't think he was practicing free throws.
I really
in
don't.
the off season during his heyday. I
I
don't
think
at
he was
all.
practicing his drop step.
I think he was
and
practicing
dunking.
spitting bars
Oh, that's
and
good
shooting
too.
movies. That's what I think Shaq was doing. when he
Dressing
shooting
up
over
as
free throws.
genies, huh?
Yeah,
And what do we think Dwight Howard was doing instead of shooting free throws? Anyways,
Nursing injuries. I don't know.
being Dwight Howard, probably not. I think they did the same thing as Shaq did. He was coasting off of his talent,
I thought you were gonna say off of like his,
Yeah, I guess that's
his Batman.
his Batman.
Yeah, bringing
Like
Shaq
Dwight
into
Howard
the
didn't
mix.
have one, but
It's like I watched the Sixers last night, and you got guys that are just sagging off. They're like,
They're
they
not
were in the
respecting
They
him
were
at
in the
all.
paint.
I mean, dude,
they were in the paint while he's standing at the top of the point.
I saw
Let him beat
him
shoot
getting
stoats,
shots
huh?
up on social media in Lifetime. Like I saw him working. I saw him getting jumpers up. Is it?
Every player has that in the offseason, though. You see these amazing open gym footage, and then mostly that never translates.
Well, like it's a confidence thing though. Like, why are we not stepping into catch and shoot 3-pointers from the top of the key, bro? Keith Fletcher could go out there and shoot 25% on those.
wide open. Yeah,
Yeah.
With nobody guarding you, I'm guaranteeing you're gonna make.
He'll be able to
more
hit
than
one.
fucking Ben
He'll
Simmons.
be able to hit one.
Yeah,
So
it's just matchup problems in the playoffs.
I think
Yeah.
think it's a confidence thing.
it could be. I think actually you're probably 100% correct.
And I think that he's
It's
probably.
like
I think that
he's
he's
got the
probably.
yips. He's got the
You're
yips.
exactly right. I think that he's probably just not. He's one of those guys that just doesn't have it. You know. What
was his
Maybe
over-under
we're coming at him.
total threes?
I don't.
11 again?
I don't know. Is that what it was last year?
I think that's what it was last year.
Well, that one under.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a chance.
Yes, it did. You were at game 30 when he'd taken 6 shots and made none of them. You're like, yep.
He's
Best bet I've
well,
ever
and they were no longer playing him anymore. The whole second half of the year, nobody played him past the free throw line, man.
Yes.
Because here's the thing: if you do, you open yourself up to getting blown by.
He's going to roast you if you. If
Yeah.
you
That's
So
true.
make
if
him
you play
shoot it.
up on
Make
him.
him shoot it.
Bro, you're in the NBA. Just shoot it. Who the fuck cares, bro? You got Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris, bro. Go get some offensive boards. Play basketball. This is not conducive to winning games, especially in the half court. It's like
You can't run sets for the entire game in the half court while you're just letting 3-point shots that are wide open, uncontested go without being.
And if that's the case, then he needs to go play on the block in the half court. Hey, look,
got the
I'm
size to do
fine. I'm fine with him being a transition maven, right? Like I'm so great with that. Like you want to be Lamar Odom in transition,
But
great.
letting him run the point in the
But
half
like
court offense.
them forcing him into being the point guard is just it doesn't seem right.
like
to me.
you
It
said,
just
you know,
doesn't
he
work.
Can be posting up,
Doesn't-
all kinds of stuff.
Doesn't-
And like
lot
they
of
try to
guys
do
can
it,
do
but it's just he. I don't.
And it's not even saying that
But
he has to do it all the
the
time.
passing, you know, is why they keep him there because.
But he doesn't have to run point all
Some
the
of the
time.
best passers in the game of all time passed out of the post.
Yeah.
True that.
So just go be good where you're good. Stop trying to do
Anything
other
else?
shit.
Early basketball season that has stuck out to you?
No, not yet.
I-
Brandon Ingram is having a monster year so far.
So is Josh Hart, isn't he? Or did he finally had to take a step
Yeah,
back?
no. Brandon Ingram.
I didn't watch the last Pelicans game.
Brandon Ingram looks pretty good.
As a Boston homer, I'm happy to see all the wings playing together. I'm glad we got rid of Kyrie.
How's Kemba? How's Kemba molding
He
in?
he
Slow,
seems
right?
like he's
It's
a very good chemistry guy. He shot terrible in his first game. Then I think
That'll
he
come.
dropped 30 recently.
That'll come.
But what I like more is that with Kyrie, he was just so ball dominant. Always had the ball in his hands, and we have so many great wings. Hayward, Tatum, Brown. They're just all great
Even
slashers.
we gotta
and
throw
athletic
Marcus Smart into
and
this
smart
group.
and stuff. Yeah, so I think all those guys should have equal time with the ball in their hands. And Kyrie just wasn't
So
conducive
dominant.
to the movement offense. He's an ISO player. I don't think he works well in a movement offense, which is what the Celtics are trying to go for with the
Celtics got a
versatile
good young
wings.
core. I love their core that they got.
Brown and Tatum, you like them as a duo?
Hell yeah, I do.
Do you think Brown was overpaid, as many people are saying?
That maybe he did get paid a lot for not really having proven. I don't want to say haven't proven. He's been good.
But the silver lining is his improvement. I think that's why they gave him the money.
Pre-China flop, I would have been okay with them paying him this with the salary cap potentially reducing by 15%. I would have probably tried to move him if I'm them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're wrong. Or,
Yeah,
that's
a lot of people felt that.
And that's the
felt
thing.
they
We
overpaid
always
him.
get caught into so black and white. Who's right? Who's wrong? The fact of the matter is both sides are generally have valid points, and it could go either way. It's just who has the power and which way is it going to go.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is the improvement he's shown from year to year. Kind of gives you confidence that maybe he could grow into.
He's
a player
been
that
a
they're paying
good
him.
player. He's definitely a great.
He's gonna have to stop Giannis, right? That's his job for the next 10 years.
Pretty much. And that's
no
the cool thing
stopping
about the
Giannis.
cool thing about the Celtics. You have to do it with play defense with multiple people, and that's how you stop Giannis. So that you can't guard him one-on-one in the paint. You got to bring help.
Cantor starting at center.
Actually, it's been Robert Williams. I think they're
Really?
bringing Cantor off the bench. Time Lord, they call him.
Can someone just tell me why Taco Fall isn't the starting center for the Boston Celtics yet?
Dude, it was great seeing him in the end
His-
of that
his
when they
little
were
4-minute,
when they were playing
Time,
the Knicks.
man, these centers need time.
No,
man.
he's.
They just need time.
I'm joking,
I know.
but
He shows talent.
I want to see Taco Fall.
A
be
lot of
guy.
people want to see him put in specialty situations, put him out there for the tip, Put them out there for certain plays, certain situations. You know,
You can't teach
end of a half.
7-6. You just can't.
I mean, I saw a picture
Yeah, what's the
today.
difference of getting him out there for the tip and then putting Robert Williams in at the 10:30 mark?
Exactly, and people would go insane when you announce Taco Fall's starting. You know, they love him over there. Like,
So you get the arena going, the chemistry's going the right way. You get the tip, you throw it to Taco, he dunks it in, you take a timeout, you get him out of the game. Gets the whole place
You don't even have
rocking.
to take a timeout. You just wait for a dead ball, man, and that happens
I guess-
all the time.
yeah, that's
Free
true.
throws, fouls,
Yeah.
travel.
Just give it.
What is a travel? Did Zach Levine travel?
Did he?
I'm asking you. Did you not see it?
No.
He went 70 feet on one dribble.
Love that.
70.
Yeah.
that-
He just ripped like a passing lane, and like his one dribble, he just threw the ball out and like then gathered and jammed it. It was amazing.
I mean, I will say that
It was not a travel, despite the people that say that it was.
Did he have control of the ball when he threw it out in front of him?
It's not about that. It's about when the dribble stops. The actual physical dribble.
But if he had control of the ball and he threw the dribble,
Throws it out,
15
he takes
feet out,
3
and then
steps, it
takes 17
bounces.
steps.
No, bro. Yeah. You could take 4,000,000 steps while the ball's dribbling.
Because he doesn't have
That's-
possession of it. He throws it forward and he's sprinting.
The dribble hasn't
and then
stopped.
the dribble bounces and it resets the steps.
No, there are no steps while the ball is bouncing. You could take 4,000 steps every single dribble if you could shuffle your feet that fast. That is
This
the.
is all true because this doesn't
Yes.
sound true.
Well, I wouldn't. Look, if there was one person I thought that was going to be like, this doesn't sound right, it was you.
You're going to argue with the guy with the computer in front of him, bro?
It's not traveling because
That-
the ball's out of his hand.
It's out of
And
his
then he's
hands.
shuffle stepping. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but I thought if you have control of the ball and then you dribble it and you take more than 2 steps and then dribble again, that's travel.
You don't understand it.
You could pop it and then you could walk and then you could just grab it again. Like, you could,
Yeah.
We'll demonstrate outside afterwards. Sorry,
Yeah,
the
so-
viewers won't be seeing this, but we'll demonstrate for Dan.
We'll show Dan what the travel is.
We'll show Dan what a travel is.
I know what a travel is.
It doesn't sound like you do.
I don't
doesn't,
think anybody in this room knows what a travel is.
doesn't sound like you do.
I don't know when you've ever been allowed to just throw the ball up in the air as fucking high as you want on a dribble and then just walk 10,000
You're not.
feet and pick it up.
It's not that. It's
Because if you throw it would be
think
kind
of
of like a passer.
Think
you
of
know?
it the opposite. It's just the. It's again. It's two separate things. The ball is dribbling. How many steps you take does not matter. There's nothing like you could dribble it hella slow and take 40 steps. Or you could dribble it hella fast and take 1 step. It doesn't matter. There's no.
Yeah, I
cap.
know that.
All right. So while the ball's dribbling,
So I could throw the ball
In
50
front
feet
of
out
you.
in front of you,
me.
yeah,
That's
And-
almost
and then
that's
bounce
almost-
and then
you
bounce the ball again and keep your dribble going
You can
because you
almost
keep the
make
dribble
the argument
going.
that that's a self pass.
Pretty much is what
It's
what
the
he's-
dribble though.
I feel like we're getting into the nitty gritty here. That needs to be done off air.
I don't think we need to spend any
We're
more
gonna be
time
screaming
debating
at each other about it
what a travel
afterwards.
is.
But either way, I feel like the NBA has been doing a good job of actually calling travels this year.
I like
so
the
far.
fact that there's some clarity to it now.
Yeah.
The fact that I know that like what I just told you, even though you're not grasping it, like that's cool. We'll figure it out. We'll get you to know. But like I
Give me
want
a
you
no,
to know. Yeah.
disagree,
No, like I
we'll
want you.
find out.
I don't want you in this dark place, Dan. I want you to
I'm not
know.
in a dark place. Where did this clarity come from? Was it the official
There
NBA
was
referee
a no.
meeting?
There was a YouTube video I saw where it was
Because everything we find on the internet is
no,
true.
no. It was put out by whoever does Bleacher Report's videos. They've got like a coach that goes on there and does their videos. I forget the name of the channel. It's not a channel. It's a conversation. I remember that. Basically, they just used some clips and broke down Harden and got another YouTuber.
Broke down Harden out of all the biggest of fucking.
No, they used
Because
they
he's
use
the one
that
that
as
brought-
the example
Because he's the one that brought this whole thing
because
into
that's the whole- exactly.
controversy, you know? I think he's the one that kind of pushed the envelope of the traveling
Of what
thing
is a
getting
travel.
ridiculous.
Okay, that's fair.
Especially with his step backs and stuff. There was all those debates, like, is his step back
his
a
step back
travel?
was 100% the travel. Step back, and then
I
you
think
take another
somewhere and
step.
somewhere.
and for me, like I never liked Harden because I always thought that he bent the rules. But like, if the rules are the rules, then
If they're not calling it, I don't blame him for doing it.
you
In
know,
my
like that's the
personal
thing.
opinion,
If
that
he's
wasn't
just
travel.
if he's just
He picked up.
he's bending the rules, he's still bending the rules.
He would dribble, take 2 steps, then take another step
Yeah,
back.
I'm a Patriots fan. Don't talk to me about bending the
We
rules.
won't.
We all know you guys love that.
We already know.
All right. Well, then last thing we got to get into today, gentlemen, is Major League Baseball. We are at World Series. Game 6 right now is in the
What's
top
the score?
of the 7th.
And the Nats are up 3-2.
Nats are up 3-2. Little bit of history so far. The Nats took Game 1 and Game 2 on the road in Houston. Then Houston came back, won Game 3, 4, and 5. And Garrett Cole was able to pitch through seeing a couple titties.
And now
Still get the
the
dub.
Nationals are the Nationals are on pace or on track to win,
Game 6.
which would make their home team not win a single game in this entire series
Yep,
so far.
so far.
So far.
And we get a
Sorry,
Game 7.
I couldn't get that out.
Nothing better than a Game 7. I'm hoping the Nats win.
I'm,
Yeah, that
I'm
would be
rooting
amazing.
for the Astros.
I know he's an Astros fan, so obviously
I'd like to see
get
Game
that.
7 though. I'm cool with that too.
Yeah.
Like
As long
I
as
like,
the Astros win.
As long as the Astros win, I'm okay with Game 7.
no, it's cool. I like the guys in the Astros. That's all. Huh?
I don't feel like that was necessary.
What the fuck you talking about?
Well,
something
what
to
do we
say?
do to you?
You come over here and give us a fucking hot take or what? No?
Take scolding.
Tell us about Eli Manning. Pause.
Don't.
Don't. Yeah, don't.
But yeah, it'll be exciting if we can get a Game 7. Can we talk about the titties for a little bit?
I was gonna say.
I mean, I didn't see them. I didn't see
you,
them.
you were
I didn't
talking
see
about
him
it
either.
like it was a huge detriment to him, and it didn't like supercharge him,
He had to step off the mound. He hasn't confirmed nor denied whether or not he's seen them.
I think that there's a study that says that like when you exercise around women, that your testosterone pumps higher.
Yeah, but he got a shot of testosterone.
A little bit of
He was
adrenaline.
ready to throw it
Performance
here.
enhancing drugs. Those fucking
Fucking get Garrett Cole for that PED
Insta
usage.
hose or PEDs now.
Go check Julia Rose's her DMs and see if Garrett Cole was in there. Said, hey, baby.
If he's
Need you
not,
to come to
Gar-
Game 5.
Garrett Cole, if you're not, you should be.
But yeah, talk about a bold move to brand yourself. She's already got, I think, millions of followers. I don't know. I found out who she was today.
Guess
That was a branding move for sure. She
Dude,
knew she
it
gonna
was
be
very
singing.
successful business decision on her
100%.
part.
Definitely.
You get banned from baseball, but you're
So
burned.
she got
burned,
banned from
in,
baseball, but she didn't get no kind of legal ramifications
No.
or anything, huh?
I mean, there'd be probably hell to pay if a woman got in trouble for showing off her nipples.
You know that
Definitely.
she's come out and is saying that it's a unfair judgment. Basically, the fact that she got banned and
But we were just talking about it earlier.
and
if a
sticking up for
man
women's rights.
pulled down his pants,
There'd probably
be
be
some legal
lawsuits.
ramifications.
Yeah.
Their argument is that they didn't pull down their pants.
Yeah.
Either way, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we all agree that nudity at sporting events is
Welcome.
Is welcome.
Yeah,
You know,
It's streakers,
like it's expected almost, right?
yeah.
Like,
you know what? With baseball and the
You're used to-
revenue and how many people are watching it, the ratings right now. Like, imagine if you got to market. Hey guys, come out to the game this weekend.
no
We're gonna
one's-
have fireworks shows and titties.
No one's mad at the 5 dudes in Buffalo and part of Bill's Mafia with blue painted on their big ass beer
Yeah, they're
guts.
throwing
but,
dildos
yeah.
on the field wearing thongs.
but we're mad about this.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Come on,
But I
come
mean,
the fuck on.
I tell you what.
Fuck you, Major
if-
League
if-
Baseball. They're not even.
I think Chris
See, do you see?
Chris is making a decision on air. This is happening right now. This has never happened before in Grip It and Rip It history. Chris is making the piece of shit of the week on air. Major League Baseball.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were gonna do for the piece of shit. I mean, I guess you found it, huh?
Tell me why they're not, Dan.
I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with your point at all. I mean, hashtag free the nip. I'm all for it. I think that women are treated unfairly. I think that if a dude whipped out his dick, then we would have major problems.
Yeah, but they have to
But
set
if a
some kind
dude
of
takes off
precedent.
but if a dude takes off a shirt, you know what? I'll agree that then no one takes a second look at it. So there's some truth to that at the very least.
Like we
No,
agree
people
that-
look at it like I don't want to look at that shit either.
That's also true.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm all for it. Go one way or the other. If everybody's allowed to show their nips, then male and female should be allowed to show
Definitely,
their nips.
that's more of a
freely.
obviously a social thing whether
Yeah.
women should be allowed to show their breasts. But as far as MLB banning her, I don't know. They have to set some kind of precedent. There are children at the games, if they let her slide.
Oh, you don't think that the 7-year-old Johnny that was sitting out in the left field bleachers hasn't seen a pair of Titas before?
57-year-old Stan sitting in front of her was happy.
You see the picture of the guy behind her that's taking the picture?
That's 57-year-old Stan.
That was
Who
Stan.
the fuck is Stan?
The same
dude
person
taking the
that
picture
Sharon and
behind
Karen
her.
is. I don't know. That's his name. I named him.
Oh, you named him.
I just named him
I thought it
Stan
was actually
because-
Stan.
Who's Johnny? Who's 7-year-old Johnny?
I don't know.
He literally.
Well, he said up and he said in front.
7-year-old Johnny, and then he's like,
All I'm
"Who's Stan?"
doing is following suit.
I thought that the
did
guy
follow
might have
your
been
lead.
named Stan.
Come on, Dan.
I was like, hey, this Stan guy sounds like a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, guy, did you see that guy taking the picture of them with the titties?" Like, yeah, that's Stan, dude.
Fucking Stan. Talk of his.
Stan the man.
Think his wife was mad? If he has a wife?
Oh, they're in an open relationship.
It's like he calls her up on the phone. Honey, you're not going to believe what happened at game 5. Some bras in front of us showed us their tits. It was fantastic.
I'm like, what? I wanted to.
It still wasn't as good, I say, as the Golden Knights Stanley Cup. Literally Ovechkin kissing the cup, and there's a woman just puts him against the glass behind him.
I saw it.
Oh, that did happen.
Washington.
Yeah, that was even better. Because
she
it
get
was
banned?
literally. She was with
Doubtful.
someone.
Or was she celebrated? Was she part of like the Washington
She was celebrated.
parade?
Yeah.
Well, I think she was like a stripper or an escort or something. So it was kind of her line of work.
So she was also marketing her brand.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
she wasn't removed from. She wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. The
Suspended from the NHL games.
They didn't make a big stink of it. It went viral. People laughed at it, and
Just goes to show you that it's way tougher in hockey.
yeah, that's kind of the point I was making. That hockey,
Yeah, you know, baseball's
they
kind of
let that
hemorrhaging fans
thing
right
slide.
now, and I think that banning these two from the games might hurt their, ratings a little bit more.
Who'd we rather have in the stands, Bartman or these thoughts?
I mean, I can't say it's the thoughts. I'll get in trouble if Michelle watches this far into the episode.
Sorry, Michelle. Those are my words. Those are my words.
So
Those are my words, not
I want to
his.
see Bartman, but I mean, if it so happened that I was watching a baseball game live on TV and some chick that was behind the home plate, decided to flash everybody watching at home, there's nothing I could do about that. It's just,
That's what it is.
yeah, it is. What are you gonna do?
I guarantee you, everybody on the field is seen way crazier.
Definitely, I think it was MLB made too big of a deal of it.
They
For
really,
sure. They should have just swept that shit under the rug.
They should. I think they should have ran with it.
Promoted it. Free the nipples. We love women.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done. But instead, they banned them.
They should have been progressive and diverse.
They had the opening to getting women into baseball at Game 5.
Yeah, but if they
and
openly endorse it, like I said, the family aspect, you got to pick and choose who your clientele
baseball's
is,
dead anyways. Start selling sex. Fuck it.
To and every other major brand company in America has done throughout the ages. Sex sells.
It does.
you
Guess
watched- have you
what?
watched Mad Men?
We're talking about it. I need to. No.
No, I've heard it's a great show. I haven't
Mad
watched
Men,
it
you
either.
said?
Yeah,
I have not. I've seen a
It's
couple
fantastic.
episodes here and there.
need to watch it. But
I don't
so
know.
I guess
I don't think about you
we
at all.
we just make it official then. Major League Baseball, biggest piece of shit of the week.
I'm fine with that. I don't have to do anything
Sorry you didn't get to say it.
to do
That
anything
happened organically. Nothing,
extravagant.
Am I usually supposed
Normally
to say
the
it?
guest tells the audience who the biggest piece of shit of the week is. I
Well,
bring it in.
Let's do it anyways.
Do it anyways.
Dude,
All right.
The biggest piece of shit of the week is Major League Baseball.
He fucking ruined it. Never allowed back on the
That's
show.
what I was supposed to do, Dan?
No.
Like this.
He'll point
No.
at you when it's your time.
Like this.
You're supposed to point at me?
And today's biggest piece of shit of the week is.
Major League Baseball.
There we go. That's how you do it.
Hey.
But, dude, thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
This is absolutely, like I said, that's a great way to put it. Very light-hearted episode. A lot of fun.
Hopefully I didn't talk Boston too much and get your viewers, mad.
No, I mean, we could use it more Boston viewers, I'll take my fans from anywhere.
I'm all for that. I like when it's light and there's not a lot of pressure on what we're talking about. We just let it flow. It's fun that way.
Well, good, because I'm not a expert podcast guy, so I kind of needed a,
Could have
little more of
fooled
a-
me. Look like a young Joe Rogan with hair.
Well, we're not smoking weed on air, so I'm not Joe Rogan,
Not yet, anyways.
One day. We all aspire to be Joe Rogan in some way. I listen.
He does look like he has a great time on that podcast.
He's making millions of dollars to sit and talk to famous people for 2 hours. That's
I'll
just
talk to
living
somebody
the
for
dream.
4 hours. I don't give a fuck.
Just pay me. But all right, guys, that will do it. What was it, episode 22?
Yeah.
Wow.
This will do it for Grip and Rip episode number 22, presented by Rolling Sevens. I am your host, Danny Tops. This is Chris Stockwell. Anthony Terrell was our special guest today. Make sure you guys go like, follow, subscribe on all of our different platforms. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and YouTube. So go like, follow, subscribe. Leave a comment, leave a criticism. Don't like me, don't like Chris. Did you love Anthony? Did he look good today? Let us know.
Do you like that track jacket?
I think that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, I know. Why are you wearing the track? Like, do you want to see
But
what
it was
Anthony
a-
looks like under the track jacket? Because he looks like he's got a nice polo on under there.
You know, I came straight from work, so I had to cover up the polo. I
you
didn't
should
want to
show
look
it
too
off a little.
formal. It was a little chilly in here. I wanted to keep the blood warm.
That's fair. All right, boys. Fun time. We will be back again next week. Make sure to find this episode on all of our platforms. It should be out either Thursday or Friday.